past the creaky metal gates. Through the fog-enveloped graveyard, you find yourself on the rickety old porch of a long-forgotten home. Beyond the threshold sits a man, obsessed, a tortured soul, cursed to discover all about the Southern California haunt community and beyond. You have now entered the domain of the Creepcast with Rickcreeper. You're listening to the Creepcast.
Well, it's been a while since we heard that. Where do I start? Well, thank you for tuning in back into the podcast. It's been a while. Technically, we haven't had a full season of episodes since 2022. I believe I did one episode in 23, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a fog lately, no pun intended. But we are back. Yes, folks, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the podcast since 2019. Unfortunately, life happens. A lot happened since, the last time I had my last update. I'm a little foggy right now. Life, audio equipments, things happen, and of course, our responsibilities in life and all that, and our loved ones is a priority. And this has always been an outlet. And I know a lot of people have always leaned on this the podcast for a source of entertainment or a source to check out. And that's why I think I did it all these years, not only to support the haunt and horror community, but also to, there's so much that goes on in the world. If I could just distract someone for, an hour and a half, too, and then also highlight someone who deserves that attention with their business or their career or just who they are, it all comes down to, that's what's worthwhile. But man, it's been a while, and I don't know, I'm breathing so heavy. I've been having issues with asthma. We'll talk about that. I had it since I was a kid. I know I'm telling you guys. But anyways, welcome back. This is Rickcreeper 11 with the Creepcast once again. This is going to be a solo episode where we give you guys updates what's going on. So for those that don't know, all the original episodes was recorded in my apartment in the historical district in downtown Santa Ana. Different equipment, little setup. Myself and Krista moved out of the area to a bigger unit, of course, and I think I recorded a couple episodes there. I think my original break, it was in 2022. I think I was just burnt out, honestly. Hopefully I'm not popping the mic. Again, I feel like I'm a little rusty, but I just think I needed a break creatively. And we did, that was I did an update. I was just burnt out from Haunt. And then I did, through my unofficial production company, Dark Alley Productions, we did a Christmas horror themed event. And I just wanted to focus on Haunt in 2023. And we had intentions of coming back last year in 2024, but a lot happened. We'll get to that. So, yes, this will be a solo episode, just giving you updates on what's going on with me, Rick, the actual person behind the microphone. And thank you for all the support. People reached out to me in person. And sorry if I didn't break character at Haunt, or the people that emailed me, or people just reached out to me on Instagram. So, yeah, I don't know why I get so, I get hot when I do these episodes. I get sweaty. I'm a sweat hog as it is. So, a couple of quick updates. Let's backtrack to 2022, my first season at Haunt. And for those that know, I've been working Haunt since 2018. I came to this industry at a late age back in 2018. I was, 42, 43? I'm 49 now. I'm not gonna lie, I think I got a couple more years in me, and think I'm gonna sell off into the horizon and throw in the towel or right off into the sunset, whatever cliche you want to use. It's been a fun ride since my rookie year at Sinister Point, Dark Harbor, working as an independent, doing things for Black Cat Orange, people behind Midsummer Scream, ending up down at Not Scary Farm, which is the godfather of the haunt industry. Got to work in a really cool, scare zone and play a really cool, iconic character, the Bouncer, which I named Benny the Brick over in Gorin 20s. As far as I know, unless life happens, I'm going to return to Knott's this year in 2025. we'll see what happens. But a few changes on the podcast. I think I'm going to have less episodes. I think I should try to crank out 8 to 10. I might be mistaken, but we're getting a late start. It's May. Normally by now I'd have a couple episodes. I do have everyone who I had to postpone because life, and we'll get to that. They're still on my guest list. I'd love to have them come back if they're willing to, but changing some equipment, got set up different mics. We're in a different home. That's another story. But going back to 2022, I ended up working at Not Scary Farm my rookie year, coming in as an independent and doing some stuff with Sinister Point and Dark Harbor. And I got casted in the Goring 20 Scare Zone, the second year of its infancy. Well, technically, would it be its infancy if it's its second year? Hey, I'm not a scholar, so what do I know? Excuse me as I cough in the mic. And again, and anyone who's been listening to the podcast since day one, excuse me, I'm gonna drink some water. I gotta stay dehydrated, excuse me. Anyone who's been listening for a minute.
Oh my.
Well, no, this has always been not a rough, but a very raw and real podcast. It's not necessarily polished, edited. I think out of the 30 episodes that we recorded, I've edited 2 just because of like audio glitches or request of who's texting me or request of the guest. But it's a real conversation. Like I'll do my homework and I'll have some bullet points, and it's just like if I'm breaking bread with someone at my dining room table, which technically we're sitting on my dining room table, which, you know, I think we're going to replace all those creaks that you hear in the background. It's our breakfast nook, which myself and Kristen want to replace. But again, I went off tangent. Yeah, I ended up working at the Goring 20s in 2022, had a blast. Made some amazing friends and people that I already knew either like in person or just communicated with through social media. Amazing year. We won the Golden Haunt Award. For those that don't know, the Golden Haunt Award goes to like the best scare zone, and I believe the Mazes get it as well. And so Goring 20s got it that year, and they have always been, as far as I know, and this is just my impression and my opinion, they've always been the underdog, or like the little scare zone that could. You know, they called us the boring 20s. I'm like, well, if it's so boring, why is it popular? You won't catch me out there dancing. You know, gangsters don't dance. I'm sorry. That's another story. But had a blast. Got to do a bunch of cool stuff. Management got me involved in and they were doing what was the dude's name? They did a podcast episode of this what the heck was he? Was some influencer or whatever, and they had a bunch of different monsters pop up in the Birdcage Theater. There we go. Got to do some photography, some media stuff. Again, met some really, really cool people who inspired me and motivated me and kept me going. I'm not gonna lie, I had it took me a while to adjust. Again, new to that event, new to the street zone, a character that was very the characters have heartbeats. They all have heartbeats. I'm saying that, and I'm speaking just for Goring 20s. I'm not gonna take away or speak for other scare zones, but Goring's a little bit different. It's very how can I say it? You have to be on your toes, not only to be around. It's a small scare zone. You have to be on your toes because it's you're outside and people come at you different directions, but also people want to interact with you more and speak to you. So if you like banter, if you have quick wit, or you're witty, or jokes, or corny, whatever, that is the zone to work in. Because I was firing them off. I'm not gonna lie. I think I found my inspiration through. All right, slow down, Rick. Talking too fast. Through people like Don Rickles, and then like one-liners from like Rodney Dangerfield, and like just corny like one-liners from like Looney Tunes, like the Merry Melody cartoons. And granted, some of that vernacular they used in Looney Tunes would it carried over from the 1920s. So it was a very period accurate scare zone. So, I did my homework. I watched Boardwalk Empire and The Great Gatsby, the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, and then a bunch of YouTube videos and just learning the vernacular and verbiage and sayings, and just, I had the worst accent. It was supposed to be, I think, a rendition of someone who's like of Italian descent that's on the East Coast, but and of course you got to love the mustache that and I named the character Benny the Brick. Yes, the I guess official background that they assign to you through the character or for the character has a name, has a background, and there's only so much you could actually display or have examples of that background, in a 30-second interaction, unless someone sits there and have a conversation with you. But I named the character Benny the Brick. And the reason why I called him Benny the Brick, he's supposed to be like the tough guy. He's the trash man. He takes the trash out of the Blind Tiger, and the Blind Tiger is the speakeasy that's in the scare zone. For those that don't know, the mobsters are making a bunch of moonshine called the Devil's Elixir, and there's something in the elixir that's making people go crazy or making people die, and everything above. What we don't know is that we're already dead. I think we're kind of trapped in a form of purgatory. So every hour on top of the hour, we reenact how we died. And it's like we're killing each other off, or some of us are reenacting getting shot or stabbed or strangled or whatever. And then there's the death bells, the death drops, and we drop down and you kind of like pop up, and it's like the movie Groundhog's Day with Bill Murray. You relive the same day, of your life every day. Okay, I can hear my neighbors over here. Damn, they're loud. Charlotte, she's a sweet woman. She's been very inspirational and been involved in my life recently. We'll talk about that as well. You guys hear that? Anywho, again, it's a raw podcast. Who cares? So, had a blast. I auditioned again for the same character in 2023. I think management loved what I did. I loved what I did. Again, I'm there for the event. I'm there for the guest. I'm there to support cast, because we're creating memories, just like the memories I had when I was a kid attending it back in the 90s. We're doing the same. There is a percentage we're there for ourselves to have fun, and some people love to be in the spotlight more than others, and some people are there to perform. Hey, whatever floats your boat. It is what it is. So I got asked to play that same character again. 2023 came, they did something cool. They did reveal night. And I remember I was contacted, I think late July, early August. And I thought I was in trouble. They're like, hey, you want to work this reveal night thing? I'm like, what's going on? They had an event at the park where it was like limited tickets and like a handful of like influencer and social media, whatever, and media coverage people. So I got to play that character again. For those who don't know, I have a full beard, and I would take that. I would wear that stupid mustache from August till till mid-November, but I got accustomed to it, which it's a part of the character. So I wasn't forced to, I chose to, but I had a blast. We're 2023, which I believe was the 50th. Again, ran with my little crew, my haunt crew, you know who you are. Amazing people. Had a blast. 2023. Did some more media stuff, I believe. Worked they had their black carpet event, which was fun. We got to, I think they opened up the scare zone and guests walked through room 13, which is the adjacent maze to the scare zone. What else happened in 23? I don't remember. Besides the 50th. I finally got my veterans hat, which was cool. Actually, I take that back. I didn't get my veterans hat till last year, because in 2023, technically, as a rookie, you get this red hat, for those who don't know. And then as a veteran, you get a black hat. It says veteran. I didn't get one in 23 because they ran out. They're like, well, we have the rookie hat to say the 50th anniversary. And well, that's some BS. I want the veteran hat. But my buddy Jeffrey Chonchkoch, aka El Vaquero from Ghost Town, aka Officer Kelly from Roaring 20s, aka the drummer from the band Lemon. Check him out. I think he snagged me an extra one, so yeah, I got a veterans hat, but appreciate it, Jeff. 2023, great season, had fun, ran with my haunt family again. My knees, my back were a little beat up. So here comes 2024. Have intentions of working haunt. Besides haunt, I play D&D, and there's Ren Fair, and there's stuff that we do. So we covered 2022. We're going to talk about 2023. We already did. Now 2024, I'm not going to lie. 2024 was very unforgiving. Not just for haunt, but like my life in general. a lot happened to myself and Krista in 2024. And not to get too serious, I'm just going to give you guys some light updates so you know why we haven't been around the podcast. Excuse me, as I cough in mic. Just had full intentions of just living life like I normally do and doing everything. The podcast had guest lists and I still got the guest list and had everything dialed in. We're going to do Ren Fair, we get Irwindale and Ren Fair, and then we do Ren Festival in Corona, what's called Coronaburg, where I belong to the Templars, and I'm a guild member there. Just gonna live life, and everything's fine now. Out of nowhere, I just started having some complications and some health issues that honestly took 6 or 7 months to diagnose. I'm not gonna lie. I probably hit my lowest I ever have in my life. There's another point in my life I had hit rock bottom and also some mad depression. I've always been a person who thought I could deal with things on my own. Obviously, I couldn't. And we'll get to that next. But just had some health issues come out of nowhere. Just everything coming at me at once. And I was like, what the heck is going on? My body was just reacting different and having these crazy symptoms. And on top of having like a major dental surgery and then like a viral infection that spread from that, and having fainting symptoms and then like dizzy symptoms and balance issues and just respiratory issues. I'm like, what the F is going on? I'm fine, guys. Everything's cool. The best thing you could do if there's anything bothering you it's chronic pain or just chronic symptoms, go to the doctor, guys. Do yourself a favor and go to the doctor. And if you don't like what they tell you, you have a suspicion that you want a second opinion, get a second opinion. Not that my doctors did not do a good job. My doctor recommended I get a second opinion from another specialist, which was great. I'm fine. They checked everything. They checked my heart. They checked my thyroid. They checked my arteries. They checked everything. And they're like, we don't know what's going on with you. Went to the ER multiple times. I burned up all my sick time, and I have 80 hours of sick time a year. Like literally by mid-spring of 2024, like I ran out of sick time. I was either staying home, leaving early, going to the hospital, going to the doctor, and doing this, doing that. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So finally, and again, it just, the unknown can be scary. And then poor Krista, my girlfriend, just, she's such a solid person and such an amazing woman. And, not only my best friend and, my better half, just, she was there for everything. And the poor thing just did more than she could, to a point it started draining her as well, but we're better now. Long story short, 7 months later, my doctor is like, okay, this is either, what did he tell me? Neurological, which could be in the head or the neck, or hormonal, which is your thyroid. Ruled out my thyroid. Long story short, I had some complications in my neck due to nerve damage and arthritis, which was causing all these crazy symptoms. They thought it was my heart. Nope. I did all these tests. Heart's 100% good. My blood pressure was a little high. They got that under control. Once they figured out it was my neck, went to a neurologist, went to a neurosurgeon, and they're like, you know what it is? You have nerve damage and arthritis in your neck. And so we're going to have you go to physical therapy. I will be honest. That was probably the best thing for me. My symptoms have gone away. Occasionally I get a little off balance just because my neck, but if you're dealing with chronic pain, injuries, I highly recommend going to a physical therapist. I went for my lower back. I went for my knees. I went for my upper back. We'll talk about that as well. And then I went for my neck, for those symptoms I was having, the balance issues and the fatigue and the faintness, and it felt like my equilibrium and headaches, all tension headaches like a mother effer. It was all in my neck. And just going to therapy and strengthening my neck, and doing massage therapy and strengthening other muscles. Because here's the thing. The reason we have injuries is because one body part is overcompensating for another until it gets to the point it's like, hey, I can't do anymore. So that was the best thing for me. So I'm good, guys. But on top of having these unknown health issues, myself and Krista had to move at the last minute thanks to our old landlord, who's amazing. I'm being sarcastic. A little suspect why we had to move. We're literally coming up on our 2 years, and he was okay with us staying there long term. He asked us to move. Luckily, thank God, thank you, Lord, we found a unit 2 doors down from our old condo. So we literally, the day he gave us 60 days, when we gave him our 30 within like 2 days, and found a unit that was like 2 units down. We didn't even have to rent a truck. We literally just walked everything over, got everything packed up. Yes, I ran up a little bit, but we got a better unit. We're still living in our nice community here in Fountain Valley. So a lot happened. Oh, and then on top of that, I have a tendency to try to be a busybody and try to do too much at once, which I've learned to not multitask, too many things. My Rodecaster Pro interface, which I record all the episodes, started having issues out of nowhere. Who has the time to sit there and try to troubleshoot this with tech support when you have every curveball imaginable being thrown at you? My life was just kind of up in the air. I had no idea what the heck was going on. On top of that, having issues at work, it was just a rough year for me. So summer 2024 came. Excuse me. I got casted again in Gory 20s to play Benny the Brick, the bouncer. Haunt came, and Haunt was going to be a good distraction. For those that don't know, I don't know if I mentioned it before, my friends do. My mom was diagnosed with cancer back in October of 2022, literally my second week of Haunt, which back in 2015, she was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she beat it. And she was on hormonal treatment for 5 years, and she didn't have to do chemotherapy. I think she did light radiation and just like hormone therapy. Poor woman went through so much with other surgeries as well. So in 2022, my mom was diagnosed with cancer. Well, in 2024, her health started to decline. So having not only like personal health issues, which were resolved, and just having to deal with my mom's health issues and her well-being and being there for her, and then having to move, and just, I'm not going to lie, just really bad anxiety and stress and depression, just because everything was coming at me once. Just like picture just multiple just spears coming at you, and you're trying to deflect all of them. I don't know why he said as a reference in D&D Nerd. So finally, I get a kind of a break. As I'm going to work on, so it's a nice distraction. Everything is just up in the air. Work, my life, getting over finally diagnosing my health issues, my mom's health and her well-being. Excuse me. Her health starts to decline right when we get to mid-season of Haunt of this past year. And then on top of that, opening weekend, we work Thursday, we work Friday. I get this awkward pain in my upper back, and I'd start to notice Friday, I'm like, that hurts a little bit. Saturday, I'm like, okay, that hurts more, and I'm having limited movement and rotation. Sunday, I'm out there stiff as a board, like it feels like I'm wearing a pseudo armor. And I go to Jacob Caputo, who's an amazing man, and I consider a good friend, who's my venue supervisor. I'm like, I don't know if I could do this tonight. Like, I don't know what the heck I did, but like, I cannot move. Like trying to do jump scares, interact with people, doing repetitive movements and motions, it's just making things worse. I'm like, I'm pretty beat up. Right away, call my therapist, and again, they patched me up. Like I think I did my physical therapy in the entire run of Haunt until I think I did 6 or 7 weeks. So I pretty much did therapy up until like mid-November. I missed the second week of Haunt, and so second week I was completely out. Third week I came back. I wasn't 100%, but I was better. Finally get kind of a break. I'm feeling better back at Haunt. I'm on vacation from work. Sadly, my mom's health started declining more, and she passed away in October of 2027. I'm sorry, October 27th of last year. And that was just like, what else is going to happen? And then on top of that, and I'm not going to get the details, there was a little animosity for some reason towards me because of Haunt, and it is what it is. Honestly, it's not even worth addressing. I've moved on. And I just found it in poor taste. Certain things were done right around the time where I'm finalizing my mom's final resting place. But again, that's not time or place. And I moved on, and it is what it is. So the moral of the story is, kids, 2024 was a pain in the ass, but I'm a firm believer, and Krista has said this before, God will never put us through a storm that we cannot get through or survive. Speaking of God, I recently accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. So praise God. That was a relationship I was working on, I believe, a lot last year. And the entire time I was going through everything, I always leaned on God and, prayed for the well-being of myself, my mom, and for others. And just, I give credit to Jacob Larson, who's a good friend, and his dad, Dave Larson. For those that know Jacob, him and his dad were actually, I forget what episode, from Pirates came the Home Haunt, and then Jacob became a tech at Knott's. And he does some independent stuff as well. But I wasn't interested in going to church with him. So we ended up going to a certain church. And it's not going to become a preachy podcast, guys. Don't worry. I'm just sharing my personal experiences. So yes, as of January of this year, I accepted Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. So, just to goes to show you, after everything I went through, at the end of the day, there's something positive happened. Anyways, so 2024, like a suck a big, I got through it. My mom's in a better place. I'm healthier. Me and Krista are doing good. You get older and you're hurt, this, that, and the other, but life is good now. I'm happier. I'm healthier. The health shares, which, I'm glad my doctors looked at everything in my body. It just made me a little more self-aware of exercise and proper eating and supplements and, listening to your body. Guys, you got to stretch as much as you can. Exercise. Don't stop moving, especially, some of y'all in your 40s and 50s like me. But that being said, we're back, and geez, I have no idea what the heck I've been saying for the last 26 minutes, but yeah, that's the reason why we haven't been around. 2024, I had full intentions of doing this, but just life threw me a curveball for the entire time of 2024. So we're back. I'm back. There's going to be some changes, different equipment, probably less episodes, but I do have intentions of returning to Knott's. Hopefully life allows it. We'll see what management wants me to do. They might want me to stay where I'm at. They might want me to do something else. They might not even want me back. Who knows? That's life. The podcast will be back. I don't know, I have an accent all suddenly, but I think that's pretty much it, man. Yeah, man. Just a lot to reflect on, guys. And I hope you understand. I hope I'm not boring you with this, but 2024 was definitely an eye-opener, and sometimes you have to go through the storm to find peace, and I feel that's what happened. Sadly, I lost my mom, and I knew eventually that was going to happen, but she's in a better place, and she's no longer suffering, and she's always going to be with me. Do you ever get over it? Not necessarily. You don't, but you get better. But not to be a deadbeat downer, so I just want to thank you guys for supporting the podcast. Hope you like any, dude, I am so rusty. Jeez. I hope you like the episodes that we have coming up. We do have some new sound drops, by the way, courtesy of Jeffrey Koch. We're going to display those pretty soon. That being said, you're more than welcome to get a hold of me through Instagram at Rickcreeper11. Also the link for the podcast will be in this episode. Jackasses. Why would they need the link to the podcast if they're listening to the podcast? Moron. Anyways, yeah, guys, I just wanted to, give you a quick update what's going on. This is going to be like a solo episode, looking like what's going on in my life. I am better. I am healthier. I'm happier. Life's been good. I got promoted at work. I got a raise. Me and Krista hit our 5th year anniversary being together. She's doing good as well. What can I say? Every day above ground's a blessing. I'm just more than thankful and grateful that I'm able to do something like this, and fortunate to have a roof over my head and people who are supportive. I love my haunt family. Ika, Clay, Andrew, Jenny, who else? Little Benny, Jeffrey, Chonch Koch, Manuel. I'm forgetting a bunch of you guys out there. Just everyone who's been amazing to me. Sinatra, who else? Scott D's Nuts, Chopper, who am I forgetting? Ed Cobb, just Gloria, just everyone out there who's been a good friend to me, and an advisor, a shoulder to lean on, just in and out of haunt. And I know I'm forgetting a handful of you guys. Thank you so much for everything you've done. Not just supporting the podcast, but being there for me. And the ones that knew what I was going through, with my mom's health issues and my mom passing. Thank you so much. And all the fans of the podcast, people who were guests at Haunt, and just it was amazing. Oh, we didn't even talk about Haunt last year. I mean, the shitty experiences, yeah, but I got to do buffet, which was cool. I got an award. I guess acknowledgement. I ended up on the Haunt shirt for 2024. You see my janky mustache, I'm just more than grateful that everything has happened to me on the positive side. And again, if I wouldn't be doing any of this, it wasn't for the people that gave me opportunities and put trust in me and put faith in me. And I will live by this. Treat others the way you want to be treated. If you command respect, you got to show it, and lead by example, either quietly or out loudly, because out there's people that need you to lean on. They need someone to lean on. So treat people the way you want to be treated. And you know what? Put your arm around someone who might need that one day, because who knows what they're going through. And it's not always about you guys. It's always it could be about others. And just remember, it's just Haunt, bro. So I'll see you guys around.
The Creepcast, hosted by Rickcreeper11.
That was the wrong one, but you guys get it. All right, guys. I'll see you in the fog.
You've once again barely escaped the clutches of the Creepcast with Rickcreeper. Next time, you may not be so lucky. To find out more about the Creepcast and Rickcreeper, follow Rick on Instagram at Rickcreeper11. Until next time, be sure to keep that lantern light burning. You never know what could be lurking out there in the dark.
Hey guys, this is Rickcreeper11 again. Just want to say thank you so much for being supportive of the podcast since its inception. Is that the word? Since 2019, for every episode when I was at Sinister Point, Dark Harbor, Midsummer Scream, and down at the Scary Farm. You're the reason why I do this. You're the reason why I put in the time, the effort, and the labor, because if I could create something for you that's going to distract you for a minute or make your ride, enjoyable the way to work or home, or just have you check out from all the BS that's going on in the world, it's all worthwhile. So thank you again to all the supporters. Thank you for the listeners out there. Thank you for all the fans, the guests at Scary Farm, everyone who's been involved somehow, indirectly or directly, everything I've done. You're the reason why I did it. And it feels good to be back. And yeah, man.
What does a mime look like when he's having sex anyway? Probably like, I'm a mime. I'm a mime.